Toyota put their brakes on today as the Japanese automaker says it will stop making donations to Republicans who disputed the outcomes of the 2020 presidential election. The decision comes after Toyota was being targeted by the Lincoln Project, a super PAC formed by Republicans trying to stop former President Donald Trump from winning re-election last year. Speaking of ads, Washington Republicans are planning to run ads during All-Star Week, targeting Georgia Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock for not opposing the MLB's decision to move the 2021 All-Star Games from Atlanta due to the state's new voting laws. According to The Hill, the National Republican Senatorial Committee plans to run the ads starting on Monday for the league's Home Run Derby event and Tuesday during the All-Star Game. The events may be held in Denver, but the ads are going to run in Georgia.
By the way, who shot Ashley Babbitt? Who shot Ashley Babbitt? Who shot Ashley Babbitt? We all saw the hand. We saw the gun.
All right, joining us now to discuss her tweet and this Saturday's rally, Julie Kelly, columnist at American Greatness and the author of Disloyal Opposition, How the Never Trump Right Tried and Failed to Take Down the President. Okay, let's, Julie, give me your thoughts on the president's visit to Sarasota on Saturday. How would you sum it up and what kind of grade would you give him?
Well, I'm not very good at giving grades, but I will give him an A+ for calling out, finally, the plight of dozens of detained January 6th protesters, many who are first-time offenders, because Joe Biden's Justice Department is repeatedly asking the courts to keep these people behind bars awaiting delayed trials that may not start until early next year. And so this is something that we did not see with the protesters from last year, including very violent rioters and people assaulting police officers, committing all sorts of crimes, yet they are free. They actually were bailed out by celebrities, and now we have dozens of people languishing in jail for months on end, awaiting trials for their participation, some nonviolent participation in January 6th.
All right. I wanted to look at a tweet that you put out, reaction to the former president's speech. You wrote, finally, good for Trump for publicly condemning the plight of detained January 6 protesters and the hypocrisy, by the way, handling of J6 protesters in 2020 rioters, and the silence of McConnell et al. This is becoming a big issue for the base. GOP leaders ignore at their peril. Let's talk about that peril, Julie, because it seems like the Trump base is still there, still solid, he's still the most popular part of that party. Yet you have other people who need to get elected with their support, but maybe those people can't get their America First candidates elected by themselves in a general election. How do they get along? Because it seems like they're butting heads sometimes.
I mean, it was great to see him call out Mitch McConnell and other Republican leaders who've been silent on this issue and other issues. Look, they have gone along with the idea that January 6th was this deadly insurrection, that it was the worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War, as Joe Biden has said. But as we keep exposing, a lot of the early narrative was completely false. And unfortunately, so many Republicans, including Mitch McConnell, went along with this. And he's raising a very important question. Who did shoot Ashley Babbitt? Why don't we know the name of that federal officer? U.S. Capitol Police is a federal agency. Why do we not know who shot her? So he continues to speak for millions of Americans who are very frustrated, not just with what's going on with the Biden regime, but the Republican leadership as well.